back to my channel. So today I have another Battle of the Palettes video for you guys. You guys seem to really enjoy the one that I posted last week, so I decided to do another one this week just to keep the excitement high. So for today's battle, I do have the Makeup by Mario Master Palette from ABH, and then the Artistry Palette from Bad Habit. So as you can see right off the bat, the colors in the palettes are pretty much identical. They have that same black and gold vibe. The ABH palette has the front that says Master Palette by Mario, and it has the Anastasia logo. On the back it has a list of the ingredients and everything. Once you open the palette, there is a mirror, and then it does have the shades on the inside. It has awesome, there is names on the bottom, and this one also came with a brush that was on the inside. So this is what the ABH palette looks like. Now, the Artistry palette has that same gold vibe, and it has the name Artistry on it. On the back, it has the same ingredient list and some information. Once we open it, it does have the same style type of mirror, and then it does have these shadows with the names underneath as well. So I definitely think if you look right off the bat, the colors for these are definitely very similar, and I think it looks really beautiful. The Anastasia palette is limited edition, or was limited edition, and is now discontinued. And I'm pretty sure it was $42. I don't remember off the top of my head just because it was a while ago. But the Artistry palette is only $12, so I definitely think that this is a good palette to compare it to. One, since the Makeup by Mario palette is discontinued and you can't get your hands on it anymore. So if you missed out on it, or if you really just love the color scheme, I think trying to compare it to the Artistry palette, which has the same colors and is cheaper, is a really good option. So I'm gonna jump into the swatches and the video. But before we jump into the swatches, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. I do post videos every Wednesday and Friday, and hit that little notification bell so you get notified every time I do upload. And let's just jump in and see the swatches and the tutorial. All the ones on this side are gonna be the ABH shades, and all the ones on that side will be the Artistry palette. So for starters, we have Hollywood, Pearl, NYC, Frida. Then we jump into Kim and Clement. Then we have Muse and Premiera. We have Mariana and Sophia. And then we have Claudia and Siren. So as you can tell, the colors on there are definitely dupes, and I think they blend beautifully. They have the same amount of shine to them, and I really like how they look. For the ones on this side are ABH, and the ones on that side are the Bad Habit palette. So first we have Lula, Mona, Isabel, Aria, Violetta, Tuscany, Fifth Ave, Daphne, Bronx, Laurel, and then we have Paris and Dorsey. So once again, you can tell they're literally almost identical. I really love how these look. They blend super nicely. So now let's just jump in and see how they perform on the eyes. Okay, so on this side of my face, I'm going to have the Makeup by Mario palette, which looks like this. And then on this side of my face, we're gonna have the dupe side, which is the Bad Habit Artistry palette, and it looks like this. So as you can see, they do look really similar. So we're just gonna jump into the videos. I'm gonna use the same brush for both eyes like normal, just so that there is the same exact quality of brush, the same type of way I will apply it, just so we can get pretty much the same effect. I will wipe off the brush in between just to make sure there's no contamination between the colors, but let's just jump right in. In both of these palettes, there is 3 mattes and 9 shimmers, so that kind of limits the look I'm gonna be able to do. So what I'm gonna do is I will do a cut crease, and then I'm gonna just put one of the shimmers on my lid, and then I'm gonna swatch all of them just so you can see the comparisons anyway, and I might incorporate one of the shimmers on my lower lash line. So for starters, I'm just gonna take the shade Isabel on a crease brush, and I'm gonna use this as my blender shade, and the dupe for that color from the Artistry palette is gonna be the shade Aria. So they look really similar, so I'm just going to apply those, and I will talk about how I think. So color wise, I definitely think these are a dupe. They're pretty similar for colors. This one obviously is a little bit more pigmented. I am going to get a clean brush and just go through and blend both of them just so I can see how they blend, but I think they're pretty much a dupe. This one blends really nicely, looks really good on the eyes. For kickback, they do both have a little bit of kickback, which if you've seen any of my videos before, you do know that the Anastasia palettes tend to have some kickback, as well as the Bad Habits palettes tend to have a lot of kickback, but it's not too much. I don't mind that as well, so I'm just going to blend these with a clean brush and then we'll move on to our next shade. Now from the ABH palette, I'm going to take the shade Lula, which is right here. It's a nice kind of cool tone brown, and then the dupe for that in the palette is Mona. So that one right there. So I'm just going to take this a little bit lower than the color we already have on, taking it on a brush. So as you can see, the Anastasia side is just a little bit more pigmented than this side, which I tend to not see with the mattes from the Artistry palette. I think they look great. The color-wise are pretty much identical. I'm just gonna layer a little bit more of this color just so I can get it to match. So next we're gonna go in with the deepest matte shade in the palette, which from the ABH is called Violetta, which is right here. And then from the Artistry palette, it is the name Tuscany, which is right here. So I'm just going to really put this as low as possible on a small little brush, and this is going to be the shade that's going to be really the definite line between the cut crease and the color. Colors both blended really nicely. They look pretty much the exact same on the eyes. So now what I'm going to do is off camera, I'm just going to cut my lid using some Tarte Shape Tape, and then I'll be right back to show you what it looks like and what color I'm going to put on my lid. Okay, so now that I have the lid cut, what I'm going to do is I decided I'm going to do 3 colors on the eyelid part just so I can try to get as much use out of the metallics, since majority of the palette is metallics. So for starters, I'm going to take the shade Fifth Ave into my inner third from the ABH palette, and the dupe for that is going to be Daphne from the Artistry palette. So I'm going to put that in the inner third of my eye. These colors both performed really nicely. This one's a little bit more metallic, which the Bad Habit palettes, their metallics seem to be a little bit more metallic looking, whereas the ABHs are a little bit more of a softer, they still have that awesome shine to them, but this one definitely is a little bit brighter. But I didn't have to spray either of them. They performed amazing without having to be sprayed, so I didn't have to spray them. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the shade Marina from the ABH palette, and I'm going to take the shade Fia from the Artistry palette. And I'm going to put that in the middle portion of my lid, blending it in with the first and third color. Once again, these colors are super beautiful. They definitely look like a dupe. I really love how they're blending together. Even when I blended the 2 shades together, I think it looks beautiful. So I definitely really like how this looks. Now, on the last outer portion, I'm going to take the shade Paris from the ABH palette. And it is the color Dose, one of those, from the Artistry palette. For this color, I am going to take a little bit more of a dense brush just so I can get a little bit more of the accuracy around the wing. So this shade for both of them actually had a lot of fallout. They were both very soft pigments. I also did blend the shade down the side because I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and really crisp up the wing. But I really like how this looks. I think the colors blended in beautifully together. The mattes look awesome. So just before I finish, I am just going to take a small little dense brush and I'm going to go back in with the darkest matte shade I used. So that was Violetta from the ABH palette and Tuscany from the Artistry palette, and I'm just going to really crisp the outer edge of the cut crease and just go over that and blend. So this is the completed upper portion of the eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and add the Eco Black Magic Liner, and I'm going to do a nice wing liner just so I can really emphasize the wing and the cut crease. I'm also going to apply mascara and my foundation and everything, and then I will be right back to finish off the bottom portion of the eyes with you. Okay, so I'm back and my face is all done, so we're going to finish off the eyes. So taking Hollywood from the ABH palette and Pearl from the Artistry palette, I'm just going to highlight my brow bone and inner corner. Okay, so once again, color dupe. This side, it's a little bit more poppy just because their metallics are a little bit more poppy, but I really like how it looks on the eyes. Now I'm going to take Muse from the ABH palette, and the dupe for that is going to be Primavera from the Artistry palette. So I'm just going to start and take this all over my lower lash line, just kind of smoke it down there. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the shade NYC and I'm just going to deepen this up a little bit more, and the dupe for that color is going to be the shade Frida from the Artistry palette. Okay, so that is all I'm going to add for the eyeshadow today, so I'm just going to go off camera, add some mascara, and I will come back and let you know my thoughts. So overall, do I think these palettes are a dupe? Yes. They performed beautifully on the eyes. As you can tell if you look at the look, they look identical. I didn't have the issue that I did with the past Bad Habit palette I tried. The colors blended beautifully into each other. They didn't get muddy. They stuck to all parts of my eyes. I think the colors on these are identical. Like, so similar. Like, if you just look at them back to back, like, the colors are literally identical, and I think this is an awesome dupe, and I definitely think it's something you should pick up since the Mario and ABH palette was limited edition, and this is something I love and I use all the time, and I know a lot of people missed out on getting this palette and didn't get the chance. I do think you should get the Artistry palette just because it is so similar and it's definitely comparable enough to say that it is a dupe, and I definitely think that the price point difference is perfect. Since you can't get this anymore anyway, I think it's a good idea for you just to get the Artistry palette, because if you missed out, it definitely is a dupe, and I think it performs beautifully, it looks beautifully on the eyes. I just really, really love this palette, and I'm so excited that this is a dupe because I love my Mario palette. So I definitely think this is a dupe. This is all that I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the look. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did and you like Battle of the Palettes videos. Also, leave down in the comment section below whether or not you think this is a dupe. I definitely think it is. Let me know if you got the Mario palette or if you didn't, and if you're going to be picking up the Artistry one. I would also love to hear if you guys want to see any specific palettes in general. I have a few in the works that I've been looking at and trying to find dupes for, so keep an eye out for those videos, and I hope you guys subscribe. I do post videos every Wednesday and Friday, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye!